What's going on, y'all? It's J-Spo Reviews here, back at it again with another video, man. Bringing you guys one of two bar for bars that I'm going to be doing post-Winter Madness. Put a poll out on Twitter asking which of the two battles you guys wanted to see reviewed first. With a little over 100 votes, Calicoe vs. Swamp did win and is getting the first bar for bar review here, which makes total sense. It was the most contested battle of the night. It was flat out the best battle of the night. It was battle of the night. I'm happy that Calicoe and Swamp was really able to live up to the expectations and probably a little more than that. There's stuff in all three rounds here to talk about, and overall, like a very, very good battle. So without further ado, man, let's get right into the first round. So first round starts on Calicoe, and he has a bit of a slower opener, but I think that's always by design, you know, with Calicoe's performances. Has a little shot for Av. They've been going back and forth, talking about the people doubting his performances. You came to Detroit alone. I'm just calling a spade a spade. That ain't smart. Talking to him a little bit, and then we get into the pockets, which obviously is going to be the heaviest really part of this Calicoe performance. I can't always really show here like just how effective the rapping ability is, but you better act cool. This is Black Mafia Battle League, but I will slap you. So it's not like it's crazy, but it gives you a little bit of something, man. The way he raps up, that change in pace and voice tone, but then you get into some of his first like bars of the first, the dog scheme, which not that crazy because we've heard a million dog schemes, right? But a couple unique bars. He had the King Corso bar. I've never heard a King Corso bar, so I thought that was all right. He was like, got to work off the Greenhound, King Corso, the dope get husky when the water hit it. So I thought he had a couple cool references in there, nothing too crazy. He had the mini little like pool scheme, which Cal had a few of those in here, and I thought Mook did as well when we get to the Mook and Arsonal review, where it's quick. It's like 3 to 4 references, like a little mini scheme, and then it's right on to the next thing. This time I got the stick, but you the one getting chalked. I thought that was all right. Toss me the ball. I'm in the post with the midget. His name, Tyshawn Page. I was scrolling through the contenders and really never made it to Tyshawn Page. Really simple, but I thought that was really effective. Kidnap his girl, got wifey watching the football game with her hands raised. I thought that was effective too, and he's really rapping like smooth through it, you know what I'm saying, through the reaction for the most part as well. He gets in the pockets again. I don't want to play no games. You can go troll with them. You ain't hot to me, you just cold to them. And then probably his biggest bar of the first round, he had some Coke So White bars, and he said Coke So White, an NBA player married it, which blew the building up, you know what I'm saying? And we've heard a lot of Coke So White bars, but I thought that one was particularly fire too. You flew out here with 2 people. We should beat y'all ass. not even that crazy, you know what I'm saying? But just kind of adds the momentum a bit. And then the whole, well, we fans of Eminem, but we got this from Stan. Talk about the Stan, I believe. So that shit was crazy. I thought he had a good opening first round, and then it's on Swamp in the first, and he talks about going from the Rex battle to the Cal battle. I go from the dude with 12 skinnies to the one skinny dipping, so funny to open it. A little bar about how Calicoe, when he went to jail for the chicken fighting, went to jail for fighting cocks, try to make it a bar to make him look gay. I didn't really care for that one too much. I wanted to kill you so bad, I allowed you to pay me to do the shit. I thought that was dope, but then that leads into what I think is Swamp's best bar of the first round, which is saying, I'm the type of dude who would have told Uncle Trick I do know shotgun and just deal with whatever came with it. And that's what I love about this battle, is that got some wordplay here, you know what I'm saying? And in both their rounds, there's some punches, but we're talking about the best bars of the battle. The Tyshawn Page bar, the NBA player married it bar, that bar right there, I would have took what came with it. Not too much on the wordplay. It's very effective, but just because it's effective, like you feel it. It's not as much as something to break down, but I love that flip, especially with how often we've heard that shotgun shug in Detroit angle through the years. Shoot him in the head, knock off his calibration. I thought that was okay. Since my battle with Rock, bitch, I'm bolder. This is Winter Madness, but I pulled up with metal arms like the Winter Soldier. I thought that was smooth, and it just shows Swamp elevated his rapping ability in this one. Like, his pockets are a little more evident compared to his other battles, which I'm sure is dealing with part of the matchup, right? Like, you need to match Cal a little bit in that rapping category. I damn near walked every mile just to burn. Why is this in Mount Clemens? I damn near walked every mile just to burn calories. I thought that was clever. 36 chambers, and I'm giving everything to Cal. Sounds like Method Man. I thought that was dope too. Cal is under my feet. I've been stepping. Cal, which some of these are kind of a little bit more outdated Cal flips in my opinion, but I like that. Detroit, I shoot you in the head and talk to you like it's Detroit slang and say it's on the flow. And then he has one bar. This one hit heavy as well. Kind of a funny bar though, saying, talking about the Detroit Buffs, you know what I'm saying, the glasses. And he says, I'll go to the nearest Planet Fitness and shoot the biggest motherfucker in there and tell him fuck all that buff shit, which it hit crazy in the room. It is funny, like, why are you shooting motherfuckers randomly in Planet Fitness? What they do. But I thought that was fire as well. So listen, this first is super debatable in my opinion, because Swamp's a little bit more direct and more with the punching content. And if someone edged the first to Swamp 1-0, absolutely can't be mad at it. I feel like anyone out here that's like, Cal won the first, there's nothing to talk about, I feel like y'all are being disingenuous, because Swamp is getting a little bit more on that straight bar for bar approach. He had some highs to match some of Cal's highs as well. But I will say, even on my second, full watch of the battle, I really like what Cal did in the first. He does walk it down slow a little bit, but I thought he did a little bit more on the rapping ability side, and I thought he had his own highs too. I like that pocket where he goes, passing me, I'm in the post with the midget, to the Tyshawn bar, to the wifey watching the football game bar. Next pocket leads into the NBA player, Coke's a white NBA player, married it. So I think they both have different bars that was kind of about. I had a few more from Swamp where I had a few more punches I liked from him, but then I had the calibration bar. I had the in jail fighting with Cox bar. Like, I had a couple bars I didn't like as much. So super duper 50-50 round, but I thought Cal was a little bit more clean all around, and that's why I edged him the first round of the battle, giving him a 1-0 lead. So, I mean, as contested of a first round as it gets, I think it's complete 50-50, but then we get into the second round. As I said, I've watched the battle twice, right? I watched it first live, and then I got to do the whole bar for bar, so I watched it fully back to do the breakdown here. However, I have watched Calicoe's second round separately, about 3 to 4 times. Round of the night from the event, instant, great, amazing in the highlight reel Calicoe round, and a round I could not wait to do a bar for bar on. So he starts out with kind of like this gangbanging angle versus Swamp. Talk about how Swamp reps colors, which I don't think that's true at all. I've never seen Swamp with a flag or anything like that, but fuck his colors. It's going to be black and white when he makes the press. Set up for the bar, I understand. Gets in a little bit into the Farah angle. I guess Farah and Swamp are together. I'm honestly was unaware of that, but take some shots at her. Y'all can make some fire content, especially if you tag her as K-Shine's bitch, and then leads that into a Tayshawn Prince bar, which you're in Detroit too, so that's gonna hit. Gets in this, talk about the Bible and the Quran, but why would Allah? I thought that was cool too. I got the chopper got a light. I want to see the bullets go in him. I thought that was cool as well, and he's aggressively. So first it was kind of like the smooth rapping pockets, but now he's adding hella aggression into it. In terms of his demeanor this round, it reminds me a lot of his second versus Goods, which is probably his last great showing, and he was in that bag for this second. Yeah, if you mad at me, talking about Farah again, if you mad at me for hitting it, you got to be mad at Surf too. Bringing Surf in this situation, has a whole free the wave moment. Got to get this shit home. The pack got a curfew. I thought that was dope. X's Men got him looking at the Doctor Strange. I gotta admit, I don't like that one. You got a Marvel super fan here. Y'all don't even know, but this is actually a Marvel room. I got Marvel decorations all up in the room where I shoot my videos. But I've heard so many. I'm looking at the Doctor Strange. Stop looking at the Doctor Strange, dog. We've heard enough of looking at the Doctor Strange bar. So I got not a huge minus or anything. I just didn't like that bar. Then he has the landscaper scheme, the electric lawnmower, everything leading to you a landscaper, me too. I'm known for weed and whacking motherfuckers. That whole shit was crazy. The landscaper, weed, and whacking bar, in my opinion, is the bar of the battle. Stupid. So good. Perfect setup. Perfect execution of the punch. It was perfection. You know what I'm saying? I love that bar. I'm not a role model. I'm a real life action figure. It's not even like that. It adds that many points, but I like little shit like that. I thought that was crazy. The Carolina scheme, saying, I don't even know how you from Carolina. You from South Carolina. We talk about North, the best Carolina. So getting at him a little bit. My Mount Rushmore is just me, and me. I feel like I've heard so many different variations of that line, but that was dope too. I'll be on the road battling a freeway, like put on a beat. Everyone knows freeway and Cass. Tell him to put on the beat. I thought that was fire. Give him a round of applause because this next round of applause he won't even be able to see. I thought that was dope. 7-day stakeout. This shit ain't for the weak. And it's all little simple bars. 7 days ain't for the weak. But he's building back to back with the momentum. Me and my dudes wanted a jump swamp, but I told him it ain't even that deep. That is fire too. Sneaky. They both had Mike Tyson bars in the second. I'm just gonna mention Cal's, but neither of them were that good. He's gonna be like Mike Tyson asked out before the match. That was all right. And then of course the final pocket. In case you didn't think the landscaper bar was the bar of the battle, he has his Hitman gave him a plaque because his battle hit 1 million. I'd give my Hitman an extra stack if he don't hit no civilians. He was whooping ass in the second, dog. This is Calicoe at 100, and this is why people get so mad about the John, the Reed performances, because this is a near unbeatable second. He's super, just like his good second round. You know what I'm saying? All the way in his bag. Love his second. It's the peak of the battle. And I don't even think Swamp's second is bad in response. You know why the bitches fuck with me. I'm gonna give you a funeral since you so pressed for one. Talk about, because he went at Farah. I thought that was kind of a cool rebuttal, really good rebuttal when you think about it. This is success talk. Success is when you lose but don't lose enthusiasm. Like I said about this battle, real life content. I don't even really gotta be a cow, but that's just a good bar. I fuck with that. Every time I reach for a conclusion. He had some Terranio wordplay, obviously Calicoe's government name. Double barrel, these my chamber brothers. I don't know if I want to go to heaven because I'm not sure none of my peoples is there. I thought that was clever as well. Or not even clever, but just real. I like that bar. Slap your glasses off, then like a janitor, slap your glasses off until you buff the floor. I thought that was clever as well. The OBGYN bar, the Siakam bar. And I think the one thing is, even though Swamp lost this round, I'm just saying it now, Calicoe set the bar too high with this one. It's a clear win for Cal in the second. But Swamp's rapping ability is better within this round too. I feel he's matching it a little bit, and then put a strap on the wizard like Gilbert Arenas. I actually thought that was fire. And the hang tight bar, told him about when the police about to lock you up, tell them hang tight. So I thought it was still a good Swamp second, but you can just tell there's a difference in the peaks, there's a difference in the rapping ability, really the content. It was just, this is Cal's round of the battle. If there is one clear round, undebatably clear round of the battle, it's the second. And for me, it could easily be 1-1. It could easily be 1-1 depending on who you get the first two, but I personally got it 2-0 for Calicoe. And then we have the third round of the battle, which in comparison, I think most people would say is the weakest round from both. So I think the third kind of got a bad rap live where people were just it's close, it's a weaker. But I feel like someone kind of comfortably got this round as well. But we'll start out with Calicoe. And he has this just a little swamp. I feel like I'm stepping in a puddle. I actually like that to start. Leads that into this planet scheme, which I thought was cool. It was a mix of trapping, but it's based around a planet scheme. He had the bass bumping and sound like a Neptune. He had a Uranus bar in there, driving around in a Saturn. I mean, the things that would go into a planet scheme. I thought it was okay. Kind of reminded me of the dog scheme, except even a little less originality. At least there was the King Corso bar, a couple of things in that. Leads into the Superman little, I wouldn't even call it a scheme, but little bar right there about he Clark Kent, son crypto. He had a crypto mention, so I thought that was all right. After I beat you, give this knowledge to the youngins, but remember my name. He was gonna do a gun so big bar, but then he said gun so small you don't even know I got it, which was fire. But then that's kind of it. Cal's third, I don't know if it was purposely his weaker round or if it felt like his energy changed a little because he was not as on top of it as he was in the first two rounds where it's momentum. He's locked in. You could feel the pace, maybe a little less seriousness. Then he had a shot about the Lux backing out of a possible rematch. And I feel like Cal wants that Lux rematch bad. I've heard about that. I'd like to know because I'm trying to be more open-minded to rematches, but why is it got to be the super duper classics that were perfect the first time? I guess I wouldn't hate a Calicoe Lux rematch, but I'm not jumping for joy for it either, to be honest with you. But Cal's third was definitely a weak round. I understand why people said that. I mean, there's not much notes because there wasn't much greatness from the round. But then Swamp goes, and I said this live, and people thought that I saw some like pushback on this, but I thought Swamp didn't get the love that he deserved in this third. And we go into Swamp's third. He said, you gonna need a blackface with Swamp like Robert Downey, obviously Tropic Thunder, you know what I'm saying, but blackface being Calicoe's pops, that was clever. Shoot him and then Paige get missing like the real Bible, I thought that was clever. I never take Cal, I just mastered trigonometry, the math bar, you know what I'm saying, calculus, thought that was dope. Talking about how his father had him trapping, I expect the wizard to follow the brick road, I thought that was clever too. The California bar, I thought that was dope. Headshot, something fly in a high tower like 9/11. And like he's getting some love, but he's really landing back to back here. I think like punch wise, it's actually one of the most consistent of his 3 rounds. Like just punch wise, the Rip Hamilton bar was clever. I don't think a lot of people caught that. You know what I call that? Calisthenics. The calisthenics bar I thought was clever. I thought baking soda was only made for cooking dope, which is kind of funny when you think about it. But that's hard as well. That's fire. In Detroit. Feel like your rep in Detroit is like how everybody feels here. We miss him proof, which is the one of many proof bars in the night, but I thought he set that up well. If he pull a Drake, that means he's suing me. So I just thought like, don't get me wrong, it's not the craziest. I feel like Swamp's first is probably his best of the battle. I feel like Cal's second is probably his best of the battle. And I feel like the other couple rounds are better too, but I like what Swamp had in this third. He didn't have a bad third at all. I just thought maybe the energy wasn't fully there yet, but I would even debate that his third is better than his second. So I don't know if I could call it clear when there still seems to be debates in that third, and that's kind of the issue here for the battles. Although I think it's a super contested, debatable battle, Cal gets the clearest round of the battle, and Swamp didn't really like snatch the third like he could have, but I still comfortably gave Swamp the third. So I have Swamp winning the third round of this battle. I have Calicoe obviously clear in the second round, and it is going to come down to that first. I mean, you could break it down. Swamp maybe having a little more punch wise. Some people are going to go with that. Calicoe doing a little bit more rapping ability wise, delivery wise, which I think is what is drawing people in. It's close to call, but as you can see, my final call here is Calicoe 2-1 edge, clear in the second, and like by a preferential edge in the first round. So that is my full review here on Calicoe versus Swamp. You know, once again, battle of the night, and a battle that obviously everyone is loving right now, and I think is great for both battlers in this situation, really no matter how you called it. As for Cal, last 2 performances weren't good, right? Reed battle, nasty. John battle, nasty. So fully clean in this performance, and it's reminiscent, like I said, of that Goods battle. It's full effort. It's what you wanted from this battle at the maximum. Obviously, I have him edging out the victory, and I think the consensus does by a bit of a margin. I wouldn't say it's like, I still don't think it's a clear battle, but I've seen a lot of like 65 to 35% on voting polls. You know what I mean? So it's definitely leaning Cal's way. So great performance, battle of the night, and overall a successful event. Your battle of the night on your already successful event. So a lot of things to be happy about with Calicoe in this one, whether you have him winning or losing. And the same goes for Swamp, even though it's his legacy match as opposed to Calicoe's. So you don't want to be a little bit on the kind of the wrong side of the consensus, but I think Swamp first and third is like a very fair call. I'm not mad at anyone calling it like that. And on top of that, he's got a war here with Calicoe where it's funny because I felt like to discredit him, you heard people like, when he was winning dominantly versus Verb versus Rex, they're like, oh, he needs a good version of his opponent. And I know that like whenever people are basing the winners winning on the losers losing, there's goalposts being moved. I'm never a believer in engaging on strength of schedule, or if it was really a tough fight, by the version of the opponent that shows up that day. That's like expecting a 7-game series, right? But one team sweeps, and we take credit from them. Like, oh, but it was supposed to be 7 games. They won fucking clear. Like, how are you mad at that? How are you mad at them being overly dominant? But you want wars, you want classics, you want good fights throughout your catalog as two people that people can enjoy. And Swamp versus Cal is definitely that for Swamp, kind of in that same lane that a Tay-Rock and a Swamp is, right? Where you might love Swamp versus Verb, you know what I'm saying, for being a more dominant performance. But there's people that would watch a Swamp and a Rock or a Swamp and a Calicoe battle first. because of it being good on both sides. So I think using it to discredit him before was silly, but I think having this type of battle in the catalog is good for Swamp, whether you have him winning or losing. Plus, he did it in Detroit, and it's one thing to battle battlers on the road who are there a lot. Battle guy in the DMV, and they're in there 4 or 5 times a year. But I mean, how many people have battled Cal in Detroit? There hasn't been that many events in Michigan. So he joins a small list of like him, Arsonal, and Reed. That might be the only 3 people to battle Cal in Michigan. Maybe was it Cal and Daylight in Detroit? I could be wrong. So, and probably the best battle that Cal has in Detroit at that. So, whether you have Swamp winning or losing, like I said, I could see an argument for him first and third. But even if you're like me and you got Cal in the first 2, you gotta walk away with this one still having even more respect for Swamp as well. And that's what award does for both battlers. So now I want to hear your guys' opinions, man. Obviously, how did you call the battle? I think very almost objectively the battle comes down to the first round. So specifically, how did you call the first round and why? And also be expecting Murder Mook versus Arsonal to be the next review I do. It could come out later today. I'm not going to guarantee it, but there's a good chance that it drops tomorrow. And then before the week is out, we are going to have to talk about Chrome 23's Read the Room event. So don't think I forgot about that. I just want to get through all the Winter Madness coverage, and then we'll talk about the new announcements. But it's been J Smo Reviews again here, y'all. Like, comment, subscribe. I'm going to catch y'all on the next one, man. Peace.